Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I want to ask you for a replay, gang. If you're watching the replay, always hella interested in seeing who goes back and watches the replays. That's like a big deal to me because I'm curious which topics stand out to you, which topics you want to hear more about. And that's the way you vote. You vote with your views. You know what I mean? Like, comment, share this bad boy. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. I think you'll get a lot out of the Instagram page as well, and a lot of the stories that I put up. My name's Haziq Ali, if you didn't know. And our whole play here is helping you to go further, faster, with less effort. Every Wednesday and Thursday, I normally talk about how our newsletter comes out on Friday. I do this for two reasons. One is because if you didn't read last week's newsletter, you still got another chance for the new one comes out. You start feeling like, oh, I done missed it already, right? But then the second reason is because this is a perfect day for you to get involved in the newsletter as well. Every single week, we give you like these three different segments in a newsletter. One segment is about mindset. One is about Heartset. One is about skill set. All you have to do to go get that newsletter is go to millionaireminded.com, or wearemillionaireminded.com if you prefer that. Put your email in the box, put your name in the box, and you're in there. You know, it's just that easy. It's something that we do completely free of charge. And every week you get something about mindset, that some hack about life that maybe you never considered. And then you get a little segment on Heartset, usually a quote from somebody real dope who said something, who congealed a lot of wisdom into one sentence. These are the kinds of sentences you can put up on your social media, et cetera, so forth, and kind of get people thinking, you know, each one teach one. And then that third segment is skill set. It's usually something about entrepreneurship, some little hack, some little phrase, some little technique, some little strategy that will allow you to go further, faster, with less effort. Because after we get all the mindset and the positive attitude together, after that, we need skills. A lot of times you probably got the mindset already in some way. You already got the confidence in some way, or you wouldn't be an entrepreneur. But now we need the skills, right? And, you know, today, I kind of want to talk about that confidence thing. I kind of want to talk about the getting back some of the confidence you had when you first got started. Because you know, and I know, you know, you'd have never gotten started if you didn't have some level of confidence. But what will happen is this crazy world right here will beat you down. This crazy world right here will make you think that you are tripping. This crazy world, full of well-meaning but underachieving friends and family, full of well-meaning but underachieving counterparts and coworkers, will start to beat you down. Millionaires, your experiences, your talents, your skills, they'll take you really far in life. They'll help you build this impressive resume that everybody loves you for. They'll open doors to opportunities. But let me tell you what's one quality that'll get you further, faster, with less effort. Let me tell you the one quality that will help you capitalize on the opportunities that present themselves to you. That quality is confidence. Somebody say in the comments that confidence is your belief in your abilities. Confidence is your belief in your abilities. It's the feeling that you can rise to the occasion even when the pressure is on. And confidence not only fuels your ambition and the level of potential you see in yourself, but it encourages you to set goals that might make you need to stretch. It encourages you to set goals that might require you become somebody different, somebody stronger, somebody faster, somebody better. You know, I think it's Henry Ford that they usually give this quote to. You know, it's like, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Can somebody give me that and then give me a share? If you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. And here's something we all know. We know we all want more confidence. We all want confidence, y'all, especially during these critically important moments when we feel like so much is on the line and our actions can either make or break our future. But if we're going to have confidence in these clutch moments, y'all, then first we need to understand a little bit about confidence. Confidence ain't quite a skill. like juggling or learning how to ride a bike, right? A skill is something that you only got to learn one time, and then pretty much you got it for the rest of your life. You'll never forget how to ride a bike. Am I right? Confidence ain't like that. Confidence is an emotion. Confidence is situational. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Confidence is situational. You may feel very confident talking to your child, but not so confident on that job interview. Can I get a witness? It's that shaky confidence that makes you feel like you're riding a roller coaster sometimes, where you experience these incredible highs when you get good news, but then you plummet back down into the valley of insecurity when something kind of comes the way you didn't expect it to come. There is so little that we control in life. More of us need to practice the law of detachment, right? That uncertainty is reality, and therefore you got to embrace it, right? Check it out. That's just one way to think about it, but there are many ways to think about it that empower you. And millionaires, confidence, the point of this whole little intro is to make sure you realize that confidence is something that can be managed. Confidence is something that can be developed, and it starts with employing the right strategies. That's what this morning's training is about. I intend on giving you a couple strategies that will help you build confidence. The first one is experiencing success. Somebody give me that. The second one is making sure that you develop what we call positive self-appraisals. So give me that in the comments. The third one is surrounding yourself with positive role models, right? You cannot overstate the need to surround yourself with positive role models. We're going to get a little bit deeper into that. And then the next one is managing these confidence-killing emotions that we all have because we're human. All right, so let's get into it. If you want to examine where you are in the confidence continuum, then I just now gave you 4 clues. The best place for you to start is thinking about your successes and how you handle them. Millionaires, did you achieve your successes or did you experience your successes? What a question. And the difference might sound nuanced, but it's profound. Millionaires, you got to experience your success. Confidence is about seeing yourself really, really clearly, right? It's about being conscious of your successful moments. It's about you bookmarking them, not just running past them, skating past them, flying past them. Attribute your success to yourself, not the circumstances that were around you, not some random event, not somebody else, not luck. Millionaires, be conscious of your success and attribute it to yourself. I don't know how many of y'all know Jackie Robinson's story, but this cat named Branch Rickey is the baseball executive that brought Jackie Robinson into what we call the big leagues, right? And one of his famous quotes is that luck is the residue of design. Luck is the residue of design. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Luck is the residue of design. What does that mean? That means you call it good luck when preparation and hard work meet up with the opportunity, right? And you call it bad luck when you weren't prepared and the opportunity comes along. You hear me? If you work hard and you prepare hard, right, then what's going to happen? Good fortune's going to smile on you, baby. Hard work and preparation not only help you catalog your success, but it helps you fend off that imposter syndrome you hear us talk about from time to time on these morning shows. This imposter syndrome, where you find yourself on this level, this is something that even the most successful, even the most talented experience when you're starting to hit some of these peaks that you never imagined possible. Well, what helps you fend that off is this catalog you have in your head where you experienced success, right? Imposter syndrome is when you feel like your success ain't really due to your own hard work, but really it's a result of other people or other circumstances. And you just happen to be nearby to catch some of the shining moments or something, the glow of other people's shine. No. You got to experience success. So much of your confidence is dependent on you being conscious of how you are handling these achievements and what kind of self-talk you allow yourself to have, how you're managing your internal dialogue when these moments occur. Millionaires, you got to experience success. And this leads us to our next kind of like confidence building action, millionaires. Number 2, we told you that you got to develop positive self-appraisals. You got to develop positive self-appraisals. Am I making sense? What do we mean by appraisal? You ever had anything appraised? You ever had some jewelry appraised? You ever gotten a vibe for what they're selling you, saying you could sell your car for, right? Well, developing a positive self-appraisal is always going to start with your thoughts. It starts with you paying attention to what you're paying attention to. It starts with you thinking about what you're thinking about. And this can be kind of hard because it's almost like a train, right? It's barreling down the tracks. How are you going to stop a locomotive once that thing gets going, right? But this is where cognitive discipline comes in. You know, last night at dinner, they were laughing at me because I've gained this skill set where I try my best to breathe before I react. I try to put myself into a place where I can respond rather than react. I want to give myself the ability to respond. I want to give myself the ability to respond with ability, aka responsibility. Winston Churchill said that the price of greatness, the price of all greatness, is taking responsibility for your thoughts, right? As we listen to this inner dialogue, it's important to separate the words, the phrases, and the mantras that are helpful from those that are damaging. It could derail our train off the tracks, right? That could derail our future. That could throw off our destiny. When we catch these self-defeating appraisals, we have to hold them in our minds, kind of look at them things, and then reframe them a little something. For example, imagine you need to confront your boss. There's some important issue that you kind of disagree with, okay? Rather than thinking, man, this ain't gonna matter. You know what I mean? I can't do it. They don't really care. And it ain't my place to disagree with his remarks on my performance review. Maybe you stop yourself. Maybe you review these thoughts, right? Maybe you observe them joints like, that's an interesting thought I just now had. And then maybe you think to yourself, you know what? If I don't stand up for myself, nobody else will. He needs to know that I don't agree with how my performance is being characterized, right? Maybe you flip the script into something that's a little bit more empowering for yourself. When you find that you're beating yourself up, stop in a moment. Start down a new path. Maybe you start down a path where you start to promote yourself, right? Maybe you start down a path where you start to remember all the great things that you've done. And when you refresh your memory about your accomplishments, when you remember how you experienced success, all of a sudden your confidence grows. You start to feel like you're prepared to face whatever comes your way. You see how this starts to equal confidence? Does that make sense? Millionaires, it's important to be able to rely on yourself in these moments that count. But now we're going to move into a next strategy where you can also rely on other people, right? Because don't forget, I'm always teaching you that environment is 3 different things. Environment is your mentality. Environment is your habitat, but environment is also your culture. The people you are around become living, breathing environment. So this is going to help you to develop and promote your confidence, leaning on other people. What was number 3, y'all? Recognizing positive role models. Recognizing positive role models. This is why I think it's so important that you join our newsletter. Get our newsletter, because I'm always giving you quotes from people who you may want to take on as mentors from afar. You know what I mean? Some of these people you never heard of, but I always give you the source that we got the quote from. So that way you can kind of research that person, maybe grab their book, maybe research some podcasts that are featuring them or that are about them, because you need positive role models. The best way for you to pinpoint positive role models is to think about the people you know who embody positive behaviors. These are people who are credible. These are people who are accountable. These are people who are service-oriented. These are people who seem trustworthy. These are people who have solid character, right? Once you identify the people in your own life who exhibit, some of this positive character, you got to develop these relationships. You got to nurture these relationships. One of the little kind of like dioramas I come to y'all live from. Yeah, I took it back to diorama. I took it back to your high school science project. I did. But check it out. You see that this is still mindset, skill set, and heart set, right? This is still mindset where you are acknowledging and doing the work it takes to recognize the skills in your life. It's still the talents and the ability and the passions in your life, right? You're acknowledging it, but then you're still nurturing it. You know what I mean? People are like, why you got the Mona Lisa behind you? It's because it took immense skill to create this, where it looks like she's smiling, but is she? You know what I mean? Da Vinci was a dog. I mean, like the dude was wild. You know what I mean? I don't know how many of y'all know about who we call the Renaissance men. And I know some of y'all like, yeah, but what about Imhotep? And that's true, but I don't have a painting from Imhotep. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing right now is recognizing the power in humanity. You get what I mean? But then you also got Heartset. The reason that this represents Heartset, y'all, is because your only problem is you think you got more time. Your only problem is you think you got more time. You see this right here? Hold up. Even when that thing ain't rolling, it's still rolling. You get what I'm saying? You have to nurture these relationships. You have to cherish the day. Engage the people that you admire and respect. Take them out to lunch. Go get them a thing of coffee. Keep an ongoing email exchange thread going. Millionaires, we have a whole training on 5 different emails that you need to write that could change your life. But when is the last time you scheduled lunch with somebody who's at the top of your field? When's the last time you and your lady went out to dinner with a couple that's successful? A couple that still seems to like each other, a couple that still seems to have love and admiration for each other. When's the last time you did this, right? These conversations don't have to have an agenda because your subconscious mind is picking up all kinds of things. The way she touched his arm, the way he looked at her, the way he pulled out the chair for her. You're pulling in all this information, the way he listens to her as she talks. You don't have to have an agenda. Sometimes you just need to be in a culture with people who have been there, done that, and gotten a particular t-shirt that you want to wear. You get what I'm saying? You got to work to maintain these relationships. And then the last one I got for you, since we're talking about building confidence, y'all, is that you got to be open to input. You got to be open to feedback, y'all. You got to be coachable. If our role models are challenging us, that's a great thing. Because if the way you think could get you what you want, you'd have it, baby. The main thing you need to listen to from your coach, from your mentor, is the stuff that you don't feel like doing. All the stuff that they suggest that you already in that mode, guess what? They are useless to you then, because they ain't giving you nothing new. We got to get uncomfortable if we're going to develop. No matter how much we want it, change still ain't easy. Change still ain't easy. That ain't the way it's designed. But it can be made easier by a focused effort to develop more confidence. So that's why number 4 is we got to combat these confidence-killing emotions. We have to combat these confidence-killing emotions. We all have our own internal signals, y'all, when we're experiencing a little discomfort, when we're going through a little fear. And yeah, it's 2022, so our survival might not be threatened, right? Our security, our stability, our long-term success, though, just might be threatened by this thing, right? It might not be our survival, but maybe it's our long-term success. Think about it. So when we have these fear responses, we need to tune into them. Like, what exactly am I tripping off? I always was taught it goes thought, feeling, action, result. But that's completely wrong. Believe it or not, you feel first, and then you have a thought. You feel like we buy with emotion, and then we justify with logic. You hear me? So one of the first steps that you need to do is identify the emotion you're having, right? We can identify when we're feeling anxious. And when we do, We can't ignore that emotion. We have to confront that emotion. Sometimes ask ourselves a simple question like, what can I do about this right now? What am I feeling right now? What need of mine isn't being met? If anybody needs this, reach out to me. But y'all see this right here? This is called the feeling wheel. My therapist had me get this joint because, around the wheel, you've got all of these, these primary emotions, and you got the tertiary emotions, and it always tells you what need you have that isn't being met. I want to encourage you to download this feeling wheel. Or if you want it from me, then I'll send it to you. Just inbox me. But it's called the feeling wheel. Any of y'all hip to that? Any of y'all got a good therapist? Any of y'all got a good therapist? I suggest you do it. Just like all the billionaires do it, just like all the multi-millionaires do it. Ain't nobody stupid enough to just be out here getting a tune-up for your car, but we ain't gonna do nothing for our mind. Ain't nobody silly enough to be paying people to cut our lawn and get the weeds off our yard, but we ain't gonna get the weeds out our head. Talking about them people brainwashing you. Well, if our minds wasn't so dirty, they wouldn't need to get cleaned. All right, but back to the point. If we're going to combat this worry, y'all, another confidence-killing emotion that's normally induced by stress, it's important to determine whether these concerns are real or whether these concerns are manufactured, whether our mind is focused on the past too much or whether it's focused on the future too much. Because our brains, even as brilliant as they can be, a lot of times have a hard time distinguishing between the two. It's hard for you to tell between the moment and your imagination. It's hard to tell between the moment and your memories. And when your brain is left unattended, your imagination can start to run wild. When you ain't putting no guardrails up on the road, your mind gonna drive you crazy. And what you're worrying about, it ain't something that's logical. A lot of times, what you're worried about, it ain't something that's rational. Just because it's possible don't mean it's probable. Somebody give me that in the comments. Just because it's possible don't mean it's probable. And worrying is like paying rent on something that you may never own. You may never even have it. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? You can quickly find yourself worrying about stuff that ain't even going to happen, but it's well beyond your feeble ability to control it, to influence it. So millionaires, you want to kind of identify those emotions so that you can control them, label them bad boys, and automatically you're going to feel more power. You hear me? So if you're going to deal with the confidence-killing emotion of insecurity, that's when we're going to go back to that second strategy I gave you. That's when you're going to go back to that second strategy I gave you, right? Positive self-appraisals. Whenever you experience insecurity, it's time for you to demand something different from your inner critic. You need to flip these criticisms of yourself and offer yourself a little praise instead. Offer yourself a little self-love instead. You know what I'm saying? I know we're supposed to be talking about getting rich, but sometimes it's like, give yourself a hug. Can everybody get themselves a hug and then put done in the comments? Like, after you give yourself a big hug, put done. I dare you. Look, you can't make me feel no kind with my hug myself. I love myself. You know what I mean? Just love on yourself a little bit. Because sometimes the reason you're beating up on everybody else around you is because you're always beating up on yourself. You hear me? Love on yourself a little bit. Yeah. That's the quickest y'all ever did the exercise I gave y'all. But yeah, that's what you need sometimes. Instead of just beating yourself down in a moment, maybe it's time for you to recall all the things you've done, all the milestones you've achieved, and remind yourself, I can do this. I've been doing this. I done way more for way less. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, just that mental reminder is enough to get you back on track. It's enough to get you back on track. All right. I appreciate that. Everybody giving up the duns. And the done. Yeah. Let's get it. Proud of y'all. Crystal, like didn't that feel good, Chris? Didn't that feel good? That's right. Good. Let's go. Let's go. Go ahead and get yourself another one while we calling in for the affirmations. Yeah, get yourself another one. Let's go. Give yourself 2 hugs. Mm. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. Hopefully, y'all join the newsletter. Another one's coming out tomorrow at 3:30. If you already joined the newsletter, make sure you read the one from last week. Man, these things is cold. These things is cold. I ain't playing with y'all. I ain't playing with y'all. Yeah, Zane, stop slapping yourself and start loving yourself. Yeah, you need some self-love, baby. That's right. That's right. You better love you some you. All right, y'all. It's affirmation time. Let's get it. Tomorrow's going to be free coaching Friday. Tomorrow is going to be free coaching Friday. So make sure you got your questions ready. Make sure you got your questions ready. You know what I'm saying? Didn't it feel good? Didn't that feel good? We don't do that enough, yo. We don't be loving on ourselves, man. How we gonna love on somebody else? How we gonna train somebody else how to treat us? We don't love, you know what I mean? All right. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Love you too. Love you too. Let's get it. All right. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful. Just saying that is self-love. Do you know that? Choosing to be happy, choosing to be grateful. You know, the fastest way to create something in your life is to acknowledge the awareness of that thing. You know what I mean? The way you become rich is you acknowledge that you're rich. You see what I mean? That's why you need to be leaving those tips now. That's why you need to be giving to the homeless now. You know what I'm saying? You need to be doing things for your family members now. Not just your children, but your parents. You know what I mean? Not just your children and your parents, but your siblings. Not just your children, your parents, and your siblings. But listen, your coworkers, your family, your friends, your mentors, right? Your mentees. What are you doing for them? The universe gives to the givers and takes from the takers, baby. All right, so I'm gonna start one more time. Here we go. 2 most powerful words in the English language, and yet the shortest. Ain't that cold? I am, baby. I am so happy and grateful, right? I am so happy and grateful. All right, let's get it. Repeat after me. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me easily and frequently and in all